ready to discover the three most tremendous fuckovers, aka self-sabotaging programs I see in people, and how to overcome those? Because you may not even realize that you're doing it to yourself, because, spoiler alert, there is a subconscious programming running in the background saying that success or being famous is not safe. But don't you worry, I'll got you. And at the end of this episode, you will know exactly how to overcome this, to get your next level, and to be able to evolve instead of repeating old patterns. So get ready for that. But first of all, welcome, Sims. This is the Simply Successful podcast. I am your host, Susan. I was a former professional youth athlete, and I'm a known health scientist and mentor for athletes and business owners all over the world. And I am more than thrilled to share this episode with you. It's all about my biggest entrapment, self-sabotaging. And being a health scientist, I found myself repeating certain patterns and cycles, and I almost felt all the time that there's like this invisible rubber band keeping me stuck and stagnant, or every time I move a couple steps forwards, it's like almost someone's pulling me right back with that invisible rubber band, and it drove me nuts. So I had to dive deeper into this system and patterns and programming and why we actually do self-sabotage, to find out where's the key to end this, because I was fucking done and over with it. I just wanted to progress and evolve to the next level. So that's why I want to share with you all the stories and the wisdom without you to have to getting the scars like I did. So why is our brain self-sabotaging? It is simply to protect you. Yeah, you may think, okay, why self-sabotaging is bullshit. Like, it didn't serve me. And yes, it did. Because our brains primarily job is to keep us safe and surviving, to keep us reproducing and go through the next day. And every time we try to get out of that comfort zone, try to get to the next level, like jump into the unknown, our brain freaks the fuck out. And it's like, no, 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 we're not doing this. This isn't safe, I guess. And just be here, just keep it simple, just stay where you are. We already know we survived like that, so it's gonna be safe. And that is your freaking brain's job, to keep you safe and keep you surviving. But you and me, that's not what we're assigned to, right? To be here, right? We want to go and grow and thrive and evolve. And that is why you have to understand that your brain is trying to trick you into self-sabotage. And why is it doing it? Not just because it wants you to survive, but in 99% of all the cases, it is doing it because on a subconscious level, means underlying somewhere deep down within you, you are may running programs and belief systems that perceive being successful or famous as a threat. Because what do you have to do to become more successful than the other people, to become more famous or known for a certain thing? You have to become exceptional. You have to stand out of the crowd, right? But back in the days, being cavemans, it wasn't safe for us leaving the crowd or getting exiled from the community, because that was actual a threat of your life. And our brain still works that way, still works like in that caveman survival mode mechanism. So when you want to be successful, you want to step out of the crowd, your brain perceives that popping off success, fame, as a threat. Because, yeah, will people talk about you behind your back on parties? Yeah. Will a lot of people, strangers, have to put their 2 cents in whatever you do? Make a hate comment, be jealous, maybe even follow you home, no matter, it depends on how big you are. But I have those clients that are like very popular, and I have to deal with that on a daily basis. And is that scary? Yes, but is that the price sometimes? Also, yes. So we self sabotage for a good reason, because our brain wants to keep us stuck because it is safe. So knowing that is now your first advantage, because as I always say, if you know better, you can do better. So you know now that it is a mechanism, it is nothing wrong with you. We all do that, and is we are actually designed to be like that, to think like that. So now you know why you're doing it, and let us look into how to do it actually now to overcome it. And I want to share with you the 3 most tremendous things you not want to do or keep on doing in order to keep yourself stuck and stagnant. And of course, I want to show you a bit more of my background on this going on in that episode. Germany, I soaked stubbornness and hard work in with my mother's milk. And becoming a youth professional athlete in my early kids and teen years, that wasn't doing anything better to it. It was more like more fuel into the fire. So I was really good in self-sabotaging, probably not even had 10% of the knowledge I have today. So I didn't know better, so I couldn't change. I could not do better. What was I end up doing? I tried to tackle down the hurdles with the same approaches, and I got into self-sabotaging, and even though sometimes I knew what to do, I didn't do it. And I was just grinding harder. Was working harder. I was pushing against this wall with the same strategies. And yeah, even Einstein said that's insanity, to trying to tackle down a problem with the same approach and expecting different results. But I don't blame myself. I didn't knew any of the knowledge I'm sharing with you today back in the day. So I ended up with my first tremendous burnout, and that was a drop off of my professional athlete career. And I thought back and was really thinking about the 3 things that keep me stuck the most. And what you never wanted to do in order to keep yourself stuck and stagnant is what I did on a constant basis, even becoming an entrepreneur and building my own brand and business. Never hop off the boat as soon as it's getting rough or not instantly rewarding. And I was there. Like, there is this, maybe you're familiar with Alex Hormozy, like a really dope entrepreneur and like thought leader in the area of business and growth and even fitness and health. And he said it best, because now I know too that there is like this curve, there's like a cycle of achievement. And every one of us, whatever you're starting new, is going through 4 phases. And it is always as it was with me and my business. Um, you get a new idea. You say this, oh, I want to start that business. Maybe, yeah, I'm good in health. I have this science background. I see there's a huge demand on the marketplace. I was like, yeah, like, couldn't be that hard. Like, look at all those coaches and YouTubers, you know, just sitting there in their sweatpants doing a video, making millions out of it. Yeah, sure. Do I want to do it? Sure. Let's jump on it, jump on that boat. And so I entered in that phase with that kind of like uninformed optimism. I guess it's what he calls it. And then you're in the process, and then you are getting along with it, and you find out, you get more informed, and you start to drop from that optimism, from that rush, into a more pessimistic mode. And you find out, the more informed you are, holy smokes, that isn't at all as easy as it seems. Like, this is freaking hard, and you try to grind and hustle through it, and you try to figure it out, and it seems like, and it was to me, the more informed I was about the topic, about this building a business and a brand, the more I felt like this is overrolling me. Like, there's no way I can do it. Like, probably it's for everyone else out there, but not me. And this is the lowest point. This is the sweet spot where you enter the valley of despair. And what I did a million times in the last couple of years is, and many people do it, we want to avoid pain, right? So we jump off the boat. We hop off the boat. We say like, okay, you know what? I'll try it. I'll give it a couple minutes. But I don't see instant rewards. It's all just more and more confusing me. It is freaking hard, and the lessons may be painful. So, you know what? Maybe it's not for me. I just hop off. And your brain now kicks in again with that survival mode. And it's like sneaking in with all those little tiny ideas, and this, all the stuff in your ear, like, oh, so maybe this is not for you. You tried it. Okay. Just like, just look for something else. And it's just too hard, like, it's not worth it. You don't see a reward on it, and it's painful. Like, we don't want that. So you have that chatter in your ear, that self-doubt kicking in, and that was happening to me a lot. And instead of grinding through it, which I knew now is the better option, I was jumping off the first idea, and I was like, yeah, maybe I should do my coaching and mentoring more about this. And I just jumped on that train and boat, and I got into it, and then I get the same, and I do it again and again. And that's what I see in a lot of people too. If you jump out of that boat, like on the valley of despair, then you're gonna most likely end up in the next cycle repeating the same pattern until you reach that valley of despair, hopping off. Or even in relationships, I see that. And people like get to that valley of despair, like, oh shit, this is hard. This is not as easy as it seemed by anyone else. Maybe I jump out of it, and it's just the wrong partner, the wrong business, the wrong club, whatever, and I'll just go to the next. But what happens? You repeat it. You repeat, and you're not evolving. You're not achieving. So we don't want that for you. And I know better now, so I can share it with you. So if you reach that valley of despair, you don't want to hop off that boat, okay? You promise we're not going to hop off that boat. And then you start changing your mindset, and you change your mindset into a more winner's mindset, growth mindset type of approach. You never lie to yourself, but you say, okay, hell, listen, I didn't expect it to be that challenging, but I've come so long, like I've come so far, I've come a long way, and I know I figured things out. So I'm going to figure things out this way too. So you get yourself into it, you figure out the strategies, you figure out how to do it, and all of a sudden you bring yourself out of that valley of despair again, and then you get back into a more informed optimism, because now you have the outlook on your goal, on the mountaintop. Okay, I know I want to go there, and I'll just have to get myself informed and get the knowledge, or get the mentorship, get the coaching, get someone alongside that's gonna help me to climb that freaking mountain. And you're going to go there step by step. And then you see you're going to go and grow. And this is where you evolve. And then you figure it out. And then you achieve your mountaintop. You achieve your goal. And you can enjoy the view because then you figured it out. You know now what business you want to be. You know how the market works. You know, or even like in sports, you know how to tackle certain clubs, you know how to tackle certain challenges with your performance, with your mindset, with your mood. Now you figured it out and you achieve that mountaintop and you go and evolve from there. And guess what? The curve will always be the same, but now you're well prepared. And what is another advantage and benefit you have now with the knowledge about the goals or the curve of achievement? When you hop off in the valley of despair, and that's what happened to me, it really fucks your self-esteem, your well-being, and your mental health. Because what are you proving to yourself if you hop off the boat every time it's getting tough and rough? You prove yourself that you can trust yourself. Because you started that journey with the promise to yourself that you're going to make it. And what happens if you hop off that boat? You lose fucking trust in yourself. You lose self-esteem. You lose self-confidence because you failed and fooled yourself. And we don't want to do that. Thing you want to do in order to keep yourself stuck and stagnant where you are is to get distracted easily and heavily and multitask as hard as you can. Yeah, you heard me right. Of course, you should not do it. But I did it, and that was like one of the biggest things that crushed me because me growing up, even being a female, it was always like perceived as, hey, multitasking, that's like amazing, like women can multitask and isn't that cool? But it is freaking BS, bottom line, because just look at your phone. What happens to the energy of your phone if you have a million tabs open? Like your energy is and your battery of the phone is going down so fast. And the same thing happens when you are on your achievement success journey. When you allow yourself to get distracted easily, talking about your attention, and you try to multitask, this is actually not what's giving you an advantage and pushing you further. No, it's keeping you stuck and stagnant where you are. So maybe that's why society tells us that, because it didn't want us to grow and succeed, maybe, but I didn't say that. Yeah. But quantum physics tells us that energy flows where attention grows. And even Einstein had proven that with like atoms appearing out of nowhere wherever he was putting his point of observation to. And you all know that. The best example is like you want to get that massive, amazing sports car. Maybe let's say in a neon green, whatever, or blue. And you set up your mind to it and you maybe have it on your vision board and you're like, I want to have that car because no one drives it, never seen it before in that color. Like, I want that freaking car. And you start looking into it, looking into the interior, thinking about what to get, what extras to get, how much you have to make to afford it. And what happens now? You're going out on your daily walks, daily whatever life, and all of a sudden, what the heck, everywhere there's popping up green or blue sports cars. And you're like, what the heck? Where are all these cars coming from? Because I thought I never seen it before. And this is actually what your brain does. It perceives and puts into focus whatever you have your attention on. So our attention is the most valuable asset in this whole process. And all the companies out there, advertisement, marketers, salespeople, only have one job: to hijack your attention. And I read the other day that we are exposed to about 10,000 advertisements a day. So that's a freaking war. Like they shoot a hell out of things on us and on our attention to try to distract ourselves. And we all know how easily we get distracted, right? By news, by social media, by other people, by random things just happening throughout the day. And that is why it is so important on that journey to becoming successful and going over that self-sabotaging, um, to have a laser focused vision of that mountaintop where you want to go, and to know exactly what steps to take on that route, right? Like, view it as like climbing the Mount Everest. Like, no one's just like pulling his pants up in the morning saying like, oh yeah, just like, let's do it, let's get up there, I want to climb the Mount Everest, without thinking about any steps and preparation in between. Like, no one would do that. You're gonna fucking die. So you don't want to approach your business or your career in the same naivety, like, and you don't want to have it like that way. You want to prepare it. You want to have a crystal clear vision, and you set boundaries, and you're not allow anything unimportant, anything not serving your way to distract you, and just leave that BS of multitasking behind. And the process of achievement, or the stages of entrepreneurship, or whatever you want to call it, and you have a good understanding, I guess, about how valuable your resource of attention is in all of that process in order to get where you want to be. The third and most important practical tip, probably for everyone out there that is stuck and stagnant in some way, shape, or form or area in your life right now, is you don't want to repeat the same mistake I did. You don't want to just go in harder, hustling and grinding harder if you find yourself stuck and stagnant, because if you do that, you don't gonna cut that cord, that rubber band subconsciously pulling you back. You just go harder and harder, and it's gonna push you back further. So if you want to keep stuck and stagnant, you just do that like I did for a while. But no, jokes aside, what I want you to do if you feel stuck or stagnant in some area of your life right now is use or try a technique that helped me tremendously, and I call it reverse engineer. First of all, you have to have check-ins with yourself and really are authentic and true to yourself, and evaluate what you do on a daily basis. You have to develop that mindfulness to actually recognize that you are trapped, because that isn't easy. Most of the people have no clue that they are self-sabotaging, and that this is the reason why they are stuck or stagnant at a certain level of their process and progression. So try to become as mindful, as attentive with yourself to actually recognize where you are stuck and stagnant. Where is something that you find yourself repeating the same things? And now I want you to really put laser focus into that situation and analyze it. Put it into little pieces and look into it. And you want to find out what you are doing, where you are self-sabotaging, and what is the program running behind it. And this is what I do in mentoring with my clients. We really sit down and we go deep, deep to the root cause, and we are like putting everything in that situation into tiny parts, and we analyze them. And in 99% of the cases, maybe 100, it is that there is a subconscious program running. Like some beliefs that we heard at some point growing up about money isn't safe, success isn't safe, fame isn't safe, not just mentally, emotionally, like in your social circles, or even is not physically safe. And some people really have that underlying belief that if they're going to pop off and become famous, someone's getting after their life. And that is a huge thing because you remember our brain try to keep us surviving and wants to protect us. So if you have an underlying running program that says, if I become successful or famous, someone's coming and get me, someone's getting after me, then what are you going to do? You are stuck and stagnant and you are doing, how does that look like? You may not even aware of self-sabotaging, what it looks like. Self-sabotaging is fear-driven, and it looks like starting and stopping, um, procrastinating, randomly your brain giving you mediocre ideas to you want to immediately jump off. It is not finishing stuff, as I said, like jump off the boat too easily. It is even getting so involved in comparison with other people and getting jealous that you are trapped in comparison and despair instead of actually sitting your ass down and go on it on your lane and focus on your things. That is self-sabotaging, being busy like watching all the other people, or even keeping it safe and analyzing other content, other business mentors, analyzing other players, other athletes, and try to copy what they do because you feel like, oh, they're doing it and they kind of get away with it. They don't seem to be that bad. So maybe I copy it because it's the more safe way to do it. Like there's so many things run in your subconscious that we have to pull out of the dark and put the spotlight on. Like all those blind spots, we have to bring to the light and we have to analyze to be able to get rid of it. And that's probably a whole nother topic on how to actually change your mindset and those beliefs. And there's different techniques you can use, but maybe we'll jump into that in another episode. And that is actually what helped me the most. You have to reverse engineer the things and you have to pull out the root cause into the spotlight and get rid of it. Because if you don't do it, you're going to end up repeating it. But again, that's your freaking brain's job of keeping you surviving and not thriving. And about things not to do in order to keep you stuck and stagnant, and some more strategies. Oh my freaking god, strategies about overcoming self-sabotage. It might can be like this whole topic might feel overbearing a bit, and that is why I want to end this episode in equipping you with 8 of my most tremendous success habits that brought me forward the most or the furthest. And I actually sat down and made notes, so I want you to go out of it today with full pockets of knowledge and feeling fully equipped. So you get ready, get you a pen and a paper, and here's my 8 habits and actions you can do on a daily basis or weekly basis in order to evolve and progress constantly. And this is number 1, what I told you, revise your days. Check in with yourself, evaluate and track your progress, and really have an honest look into what went good and what went shitty, and analyze why things went that way. And especially, I want you to mostly took mostly have a look in your part in it, because we can't control what other people do, but we have 100% control over what we do in order to get where we want to be. Number 2, you can do that in setting a day a week for just analyzing and structuring your notes from your daily check-ins and really like reverse engineer repeating patterns. Because if you do that, those daily check-ins, taking notes of what went good, what went bad, you do that over a week, you will 100% see a pattern in repeating cycles and self-sabotaging. And you take that pattern out, you take that self-sabotaging pattern that you do, you identify it, you pull it out, and then as explained, you analyze it. And I want you, number 3, to work on that underlying mental blocks and beliefs. And I want you to figure out, what do I believe over the certain area I self-sabotage? What do I think about it? What is my idea about it? Do I feel capable of that success? Do I feel worthy of achieving it? Do I feel that it is safe to achieve X, Y, and Z? And if you have those mental blockages, you go and rewire them through hypnosis, subliminals, affirmations, whatever suits you, whatever technique you want to use. And 4 is hang in there. Don't hop off the boat in the valley of despair. And you're not going to prove yourself that you are worthy and confident and that you are able and capable to do hard things, which is pushing you even higher on the next mountaintop. But you are really true to yourself, and you can trust yourself because you started that journey telling yourself, we're going to make it. So hang in there and make it. You owe it to yourself first. And number 5, so important, declutter your life. Those daily check-ins and reverse engineer situation techniques will tremendously help you to declutter and sort out the important from the unimportant. Not the good and the bad. I hate those terms, but everyone is up to something different. And anything is neutral out there. But not for you. You, on your specific journey, you have a goal. And for that goal, there are certain things and patterns and habits that are actually contributing to that goal and pathway. And there are certain things that are distracting you from that, and that can include people, places, patterns, situation. So you want to know them, you want to identify them, and you want to declutter everything that's not serving you on your way to your next mountaintop, because energy must flow in order to grow. And number 6, I have to take the second hand out. Number 6 is train your mindfulness and attention to actually be able to detect where you are self-sabotaging and focus on what you can do it and what's your part in being stuck and stagnant at some points along the way. And as I just talked about, do more of the aligned things. Get a crystal clear vision of your process. What does it look like for you to climb your Mount Everest? Where do you have to put a base station? What do you have to prepare? Who do you want to take alongside that journey? Really have a crystal clear vision, be prepared well enough, and go on your journey. And don't look left or right to compare yours with anyone else, because everyone is different and everyone is up to something else and everyone is equipped differently. So actually comparison is bullshit. It doesn't serve you at all. And number 8, I want you to do method acting in a positive way. And you may watch my first episode about survival mode and method acting and changing your reality by stepping into the identity of the person you want to become. And the same thing is here. This is like the 8th and my most powerful advice or experience I want to share with you. Act as if you are already that person today, and you're not gonna become the Joker as Heath Ledger, but you're gonna most likely become the best version of yourself, and you're gonna reach that mountaintop if you're acting as if you're already there, and if you are not working harder but smarter and more aligned to get where you want to be and to be able to finally leave the traps behind and reach your triumphant mountaintop.